What's going on, gamers? So we got Scott over here basically being transparent, which I think is cool. But we know in the Xbox world, they like to talk a lot. But in this situation, there's nothing wrong with letting people know what the root cause was of Xbox server outages. And now he has another update coming out. And there's going to be a patch coming out next week to prevent a certain bug. But there's some bad news here that Xbox owners need to know about. And that is your digital library was never safe, and that Xbox's license system and DRS system is worse than PlayStation's. And we have an update proving that right here, as I was trying to tell people. While people are sitting over here crying about PlayStation DRM or PlayStation physical ending, you need to worry about Microsoft doing that, because their system, if you have invested into the Xbox digital world, is worse, and they don't have a permanent solution for it. So no matter what, there's always going to be a situation that if both actually went down, no matter what, you could play your PlayStation games offline. In the Xbox world, that is not guaranteed. You could literally just not have access to your digital library until it's back up. Same thing also for physical copies on certain games, which they said shouldn't have happened, but it did. Are we ready to get into this? Okay, so let's start off with what he's saying. He says, I wanted to provide an update on the incident affecting some players trying to launch games. See what I mean? You couldn't even launch your game. It doesn't matter how many times PlayStation goes offline, or if I go offline on it, I can launch my game whenever I want digital. Their digital license server is fine because it's all synced together. Whereas in the Xbox world, certain categories can literally go down. And if the game category goes down, but the servers are on, guess what? You can't access those games. If PlayStation goes down, it just goes down in general. But in the Xbox world, they have separate categories. You ever go to the server status page, and it has multiple different categories that are tied into different aspects, and all of them link to Microsoft's Azure servers and to the Microsoft world outside of the Xbox world. They don't have ownership in the Xbox world. And I mean, it's like, wait, what? And what I mean by that is they don't have the power to get you your license up as soon as possible. They have to go through Microsoft. So trying to launch games and access other game library features last week. No, this is not good. This is worse. And it's funny how this was never talked about, but I'm not surprised. And then he says, what was the root cause? And remember, this is right here, August 10th, 9 o'clock. This just went live a couple hours ago, just to show you guys. As I previously wrote, an underlying service required for Xbox home console sharing and Game Pass purchase content, as well as some PC scenarios. If you're on PC, you're affected too. Experienced an outage whereby an update to the system put some services in an unresponsive state. Yo, just one little wrong bug. You know how Windows 11 bugs can happen too? This is the thing with Windows operating systems, I swear. It can ruin everything. And it could just be something that is non-gaming related. I'm not joking. This was compounded by a bug in the Xbox client software stack. It wasn't like no attack or any of that. No, you'd have to go turn off the power plants and all that. You ain't taking down Azure. So this was compounded by a bug in the Xbox client software stack, which caused other license checks to also fail. You see what I mean? One little problem and that system can disrupt everything else. When that first service went down, one service went down, these two issues created some cascading failure scenarios that affected some players' ability to launch games and causing cascading issues with library enumeration. He's practically telling you certain things non-related to gaming libraries can cause an issue to make your licenses void, and it puts you in a loop. No, man, that's not good. He says, so what have we done about it? We are transitioning ownership of the underlying license service to the Xbox team. See what I just... Think about what he just said. This is good, though, that they're actually doing this. But why was this not here at the beginning? The whole time, PlayStation's digital system was significantly better, and Nintendo's. The whole time, the Xbox team never had control of your license. It was outside to a team that was non-gaming related, by the way. That if issues go on over there, they have to get involved, and the Xbox team has to, like, wait on them. That's what he's telling you here. We are transitioning ownership of the underlying license service. It's right in front of your face, to the Xbox team. Right there, let's stop. He just told you we never had ownership or the service on our side. That's not good. What the hell? But the fact that they're doing that now is good. So the whole time you had an Xbox Series console, Xbox One and all that, it was all over in the Microsoft world. Then he says, while our engineers are actively hardening the services and infrastructures for future updates. Key word here, he didn't say we're going to prevent this from never happening again. It could happen again, except what's the difference? The ownership and the license service is now going to be with the Xbox team and their engineers to fix the problem when you still lose access to your libraries. Yeah, if it's offline. The client bug has been fixed in an upcoming release, which starts rolling out today, August 10th, and becomes mandatory, meaning for everybody on August 17th. So as you see, this is an update today, and they finally got things under control. But if it happens again, it's just going to be the Xbox team and their engineers dealing with it, and Microsoft is going to not have to worry about that. So now what comes next? He says, our engineering and operation teams are looking broadly across our stack to improve reliability of our products and services. Here he's saying improve reliability. $20 company didn't give you max reliability in services. Yeah, you see what I mean? Sony's is better the whole time. So if a diskless future is really bad, it's going to be in the Xbox world. Because you're going to be locked out a lot more if problems happen. On PlayStation, you can keep playing the game. You only got to do that one check-in, and after that, you're good for good. In the Xbox world, your stuff can still be void as long as an issue pops up. Do you not understand this? This is just understanding the system. This is not console warning. This is not beating down. This is literally telling you how the system works and how the whole time the Xbox team was not in control, but the PlayStation team was in control of the PlayStation license. Nintendo team is in control of all of that. But in the Xbox world, that's not the case. Steam is in control of Steam licenses. You see what I'm saying? And they team up with third-party developers if there is, or publishers if there's a problem with their game. But in the Xbox world, that was not the case. But he's coming out letting you know that and being honest. It's not his fault because he didn't make that decision. This is a Microsoft decision. So right here, they want to improve reliability of their products and services. So you weren't getting the best product and services. You gonna argue about that? We will have more updates to share in the weeks and months ahead as we roll out some great new features for players paired with quality of life system updates. Thank you for playing. Because when that happened to them, that terrified them. It's embarrassing. So Microsoft just wants that to never happen again or be in that situation. Oh, it can happen again. And in the future, I'm not saying it will happen again because I don't want that to happen to gamers. That would just be anti-gamer. But you guys can get the idea. They don't have a perfect system that's going to guarantee it's not going to happen again. I don't want to speak that. But basically what I'm saying is that this whole time, your library was not safe. What does that mean? That if I go offline and your servers are offline, I just can't get on an online game, but I still should be able to play my digital single player games offline because I already showed you that I have the license by buying it and you already checked it. But that's not the case. So I risk my case about that. I don't know what to tell you. This is what I mean by like in this world, things like this possibly happen too. And it could be a good thing because it lets you know how things actually work. And it's actually because of that happening, you're going to be able to get more improvements for reliability for products and services. But what do I think? It should have never been that case to begin with if you have that much money. But that's what happened, right? So like I said, if the Xbox and PlayStation consoles went down right now again, you're locked out in the Xbox world. In the PlayStation world, you can keep on gaming. You already know in the Nintendo world, it's not a problem. If the power goes out, you can go into handheld mode and continue playing. Nintendo has the best system for continuously playing. I remember there's been moments in the Switch 1 era, Switch 2 as well, where you're playing the game and the power goes out, but guess what though? Pick it up, handheld mode, keep on playing. Offline, no, you're not revoking my license, doesn't work that way. If you have a physical and you just keep going. It's actually awesome, unless you're playing an online game, of course. But obviously in the PlayStation and Xbox world, your consoles are offline. You need power for that. But outside of this, I want you guys to actually let me know what you think about this. Because like I said, to me, if I saw this, why isn't this trending? Of course, if it was something for PlayStation, it will be all over what's happening on Twitter. It will be in the highlight section. There will be over hate from Xbox fanboys, over hate from PC fanboys. And it's just kind of weird because I notice the double standard fake behavior against PlayStation compared to Xbox. because Xbox obviously is nowhere near as big as PlayStation. So obviously in the PlayStation world, there'll be a bigger crowd saying what's going on, because they actually have active gamers in the 120 plus million bracket monthly. Same thing with Nintendo, and Steam is somewhere around there too, or maybe not yet, but they're getting close. But in the Xbox world, it's a lower population, but you have worse problems. Like, you remember what I told you in some of my other videos, that when it comes to this world, there's so many problems that PlayStation could have one big problem, like the disc problem, right? But Xbox will reveal to you 100 problems over that period. And you guys know what I'm talking about. This company's always coming out with negative news, or they'll hit you with something that seems like it's going to be positive. Let's get everybody up. People start parroting. They start doing all this behavior, and then they flood you with a barrage, like Duke Nukem, of heavy negative news. And then Xbox fanboys start damage controlling, and then they turn to PlayStation. I say, why are you turning to PlayStation when all the problems are in front of you in your world? This is why nothing could ever get fixed. Imagine if you had all these problems to fix at your job, but you kept on ignoring them and act like your job was okay, and you kept on going to another company and start talking about their problems. Would your company improve? No. You would say your clients are idiots, and you're going to fire all of them because they don't improve anything. And you would also say your base is useless because they're not giving you true constructive criticism. And they're not trying to tell you to improve. They're okay with accepting everything. So what you would do is you wouldn't feel the need to improve anything if you felt like they were just a dumb, cold sheep base, and you could just consistently say and do whatever you want. PR stunt 24/7, talk, parasocial, and do all this. And then you'd have like slow ones come in and make YouTube videos and go against those like me, who are actually trying to show you what needs to be improved, that this company is nowhere near perfect. And it's actually the most flawed gaming company of all time. And as a matter of fact, Microsoft is not a gaming company, not even close. But what I mean is, like, in the gaming industry, when it comes to Xbox, since they're a part of Microsoft, it is the most flawed, ridiculous gaming just embarrassment I've ever seen. But they have all that money. But once again, money does not mean that you're intelligent. Everybody knows this. That's why Nintendo won. But Sony has more money than Nintendo, and so does Xbox. When you think about companies like Capcom tearing it up, absolutely got tier. But is Capcom richer than those companies? No. From Software, it's amazing, right? We can start talking about really good companies, and you can say, man, this company's so good. But guess what, though? They don't have the most money. Because money does not win you first place in the gaming industry. Everybody knows this. That's what I love about the gaming industry. It actually has a soul. So if you're a soulless company, you ain't getting nowhere in the gaming industry. You know, there have been so many people that came in the gaming industry that had tons of money. Remember Google Stadia? Remember Amazon trying to come in? And look how much money they have. They easily have more money than PlayStation and Nintendo and all those other publishers put together times 10. But did that get them anywhere? No, they start to realize, yeah, gaming's a little bit different. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because they're successful in so many other categories. They just wanted to come in. But Google still helps in different ways because they have YouTube to promote all that other stuff. So either way, they make tons of money, and it doesn't really matter. They're mega successful. But we saw tons of Hollywood people come into the gaming industry as well. And all of them were considered geniuses. But when they came in the gaming industry, they made one game and they're like, okay, I'm out. Because it's like, yeah, it doesn't work that way. The world is totally different. And Microsoft started to realize this over time. After the 360, it just kept on getting worse. And they spent way more money than you could possibly imagine in the Xbox Series generation. And that sold less than Xbox One and sold less than Xbox 360 by a ton. We saw the sales the other day when Rockstar revealed how many consoles are across PlayStation and Xbox put together. We saw Sony's fiscal, just subtract that, and you saw the Xbox number. Only about 35 million were shipped, so sold probably about 33 million. You want to be nice, 34. And you're heading towards your 7th year. Yeah, that's not good if you're going against PlayStation. You just got destroyed. Nintendo Switch pretty much hit 24 million in 1 year with the Switch 2. Switch 1 is at 157 million sales. So, like, when you really think about what's going on and people saying console gaming is this and that, no, the only thing that's dying is Xbox. Nintendo Switch 2 is healthy. It still it has the record of all time. How is that not healthy? No, PlayStation 5 made more money than any PlayStation generation historically. Switch 2 is making insane money. Plus the tariff refunds all these companies are getting, because we know how that works. But at the end of the day, we kind of get the idea here. The biggest improvement needed is in the Xbox world if it's going to stay around. That's why more people talk about Xbox and criticize it more than any other gaming company. I swear, if I start talking about Nintendo, I'm not getting any views on my channel because I didn't build it around that. But you kind of get the idea here. It's when it comes to Xbox, it's about talking about it. And all these people in the Xbox world, the new CEO and all that, talk, right? That's what you have to do. Criticize, make content, and all these interviews. And it's like, because that's how it is. You see, people are thinking that like you just want to make videos and be negative about Xbox. And said Xbox wouldn't be negative if they did their job. It wouldn't be nothing negative to talk about. You see? That's all I'm saying. So let me know what you guys think. Become a member for $3. Leave a tip down below. Like, comment, subscribe. As usual, AGN showing you the truth and pulling back the curtain a little bit. The Xbox digital world, discless world, is the worst world that you want. You saw that in the Xbox One era. DRM 24-hour lockout. You know what they really wanted, so don't be surprised by any of this. It's just that Microsoft can't get their way anymore, so they have to clean up their mess and try to make things look plausible. Like the Doom dev was saying as well. It's right here in front of your face. This company never wanted an amazing paradise gaming future for you. Phil Spencer was cool, but that's probably about it. Later.